What's up, all my Power Addicts crew? Rust Bucket again today. Finally, it's time to start dismantling the body. Let me explain. I've got the stretch welded in, got the 8.8 just sitting there. Pinion angle's not set because of the transfer case, transmission, all that stuff, doing the tummy tuck. But before I can do the tummy tuck, I got to get the body off. Why do I got to do that? Because I want to work from top down. And you can see that the body's got so much rot in it to begin with that I want the body off to where I can work with it. I'm going to put me a subfloor kind of around the chassis right there. Then I'm gonna bring the body but down top edge so I can tie. I'll have something to tie this loose crap onto. Okay. So in order to get the body off, I got to come up front and start from up here. That's normally the logical way of doing things. So today, boom, we're taking off some fenders. But after the fenders come off, I'll be using some square tubing and some 3/16 plate. Build me a new set of fenders. Well, kind of sort of fenders. Actually, they're only going to come out just a little bit, if that much. I'm either going to flush it with the hood, or I'm going to come out maybe an inch out from the hood, something like that. I'll figure that part out when I get there, but that'll be a different video. So you know what that means. If you haven't subscribed, you better hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single video. Come on now, hit it. Alright, let's get these fenders off. Now, taking your fenders off, first thing you really want to do is take your lenses so you protect your lenses, don't break them. I got a little bit of a crack right there. But also your wiring goes in behind all that. And you want to protect your wiring because I am going to use all my wiring for specific purposes and such. So 4-way screwdriver gets that lens off. Now we've got the two screws out. When you pull your lens out, you can see right there is where the bulb comes out of the lens. Now depending on the situation you got going on with your wiring harness, you see that right here it's zip tied in, which isn't allowing that wire to come out as far as it can, which is fine. That's what you really should do so your wiring doesn't get all tied up in junk. So I'm going to cut those, which will allow that to come out a little further, and pull my wiring. And take your bulb here, if you rotate it that way, pull out on it, ta-da, there's your bulb, it's out. Look at the mud inside that thing. Okay. Then you're going to pull your wiring harness on through, and just kind of let it hang through the fender right there for right now, because we'll get back to that in a bit. Let's go get the other side. Now that we got the marker lights out of the way, throw the hood up, and let's see what we got to deal with now. We got your coolant bottle, washer fluid, horn, wiring harness attached to the fender. I'm gonna leave that on there because I'm not gonna use any of that anyway. Over here, oh, look at that, look at that, look at that. It's got the factory jacket. Are you kidding me? So I think what I'm gonna do, I'll take that off, obviously. And I'm going to test it, see if it'll pick up my 91 with my 35s on it. If it does, I may just put that back underneath my hood, so I have that, and get that one out of my underneath my seat, get it out of the way so it's not rattling all the time. Anyway, jack got to come off, wiring harness, of course your box here, there's a couple bolts there. And you can see way down inside there, I'm going to take my sunglasses off so I can see what's going on. But there's the bolts that holds the fender to the firewall. So, is it doable with a battery tray in? I do believe so. We will try. Over here, to get to those bolts, of course you got to take all this jazz out. Then your bolts are stuck way down inside there beside the computer, DCM, PCM, depending on what language you want to talk. So we'll get to those here in a minute. So for right now, we're going to start pulling all this junk off. So what do you say we start with the horn? 3/8 socket, get it out of there. Now I'm going to structure this video just as if, say if you guys were out wheeling, you hit a tree and you bent your fender up, and it's one of your nice drivers or something, you need to replace a fender. I'm going to structure this video like you're going to replace your fender. Even though I'm not going to use these fenders at all, I'm going to build my own set, custom fabbed. But I'm going to gear the video and structure it so you guys can learn how to remove your fenders in a way that's easily for it to be put back together. Cool? Sweet. So after I got the horn removed, I went ahead and put my bolt back in place here. That tells me that bolt goes right there. And once you get your horn removed, now you see wiring harness is attached to the fender here. This is where it goes out to the marker light here. So I just take my wiring harness and everything, I just kind of lay it over on the engine, or it falls between the power steering pump and won't move, whichever. Get out of there, jeez. It's stuck. Okay, lay that over there. Now let's see what we got going on under here. Take your wiring harness, Okay, so there's nothing hung up anywhere, no wire ties holding in place. Just push it up through there. Because you can just try to pull it from the top, but oftentimes what'll happen is, you see like the back of the bulb right here, you'll snag it on the edge of this metal, and you want to protect your wiring and not nick it or tear it up or anything. So come from the bottom side like I'm doing here and push it up through. Therefore you can control which way everything goes and you're not going to damage your wiring. So there's that, it's out. Just kind of lay it over to the side here so it's tucked back out of the way. And the wiring harness is all laid up over here. What we got here, that's for the washer pump down here. Okay. Now let's take out the engine coolant tank overflow. 7/16 here, 7/16 there. Get them bolts out. Now that I have the bolts out, this is ready to slide out. What you want to do next is take your hose up. And if you got a clamp on there, squeeze, remove the clamp. But my clamp kind of broke, so yeah. Anyway. Pull it through all the engine junk and then grab it and bring it up like that. Ta-da! Once your radiator overflow is out of the way, let's get to our washer tank. You've got a Phillips head screwdriver right back here. A Phillips head screw, yeah, but you need to use a screwdriver. Yeah, I'll get it right in a minute. Anyway, you know what I'm at. And once you get that 4-way Phillips head screw out right there, what should happen is now your washer fluid tank should pick straight up. Because if you look real close right there, it's kind of like a tongue and groove type situation. Now mine's being a pain in the butt and I can't do it on camera because I need both hands, but oftentimes take your hand from down at the bottom here, push up and wiggle the tank with, like left hand is down here on the bottom of the tank, push it upward on it. Right hand's up here, wiggle the tank back and forth, and it'll work it up out of the groove like that. Alright, I got that rascal up out of there. I've got my little pump hose right there. Don't need to disconnect, but I've got a little bit of fluid in. As you see, your wiring harness, you simply just take that here, pull that little tab back, wiggle the plug, boop, it pops right off. I noticed as I got it out, I got a little crack in it right here. So I don't know that I'm going to reuse this thing or not. So anyway, next thing is unhook your hose, get that whole bottle out of the way. Take your harness and tuck it back over here somewhere and get it out of the way, which gives you access and room to everything inside here. Now you've got an option. You can go ahead and take this out with a fender if you want to. That way you can get to it a bit easier, you know, once you get the fender completely out. But also you've got a bunch of junk down there you got to get to as well. So maybe, you know, one more or less thing you scratch your arm on getting that out. And also, to be 100% honest with you guys, I'm shooting 2 videos at once. So if you're removing the fender, you can leave this in there for right now if you want, totally up to you. But I'm also shooting at the same time the video on how to remove your PCM if you need to replace it. So for the sake of getting in here a little bit easier with the sockets, I am going to go ahead and take this out. 3/8 socket here, here, and then we already got that one out. 3/8, get them out. Now notice here on your bracket, you've got the bottom bolt here, and this is that upper right hand bolt or upper driver's side bolt, whichever way you look at it. If you loosen this one up and loosen that one up, you can rotate your bracket that way and rotate it right out. So therefore, whenever you go to put it back in, put your bottom one in, then your other one's way up here. You can just slide your bottom one in, then, you know, move the bracket in place, then put this one in, or however you want to do it. But as you see, it'll pivot on this bolt here and rotate out of that, but you got to take this one completely out. Now it's time to take the fender off. A 13mm should take you the rest of the way home. So you have 13 here, 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 here. And we come back over in here. We got there, and there's one tucked in behind here, which is the ones I showed you from the back. Is this one and this one, so you may have to hold it with a wrench on one side or another. Then we got here, 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 and here. So taking all those off should help. At that point, the fender should come on out. Tool tip time. When you're taking the fender off and you're using an impact wrench, take the tools off the fenders because they will come down and hit you right in the head. Ask me how I know. Let's go for a little update where I'm at. Okay, got that screw out, the bolt. Got that one out. That one was being a pain in the butt, so I just cut that bar in half. These two right here are broken loose, down there and down there. This one's being a pain in the tail. And This is why you wear gloves and you wear glasses. Those things will mess your life up if you ain't careful. And right here's the two at the bottom, which you can see that I cut them out whenever I took this section right here out. And right there you can see that one's out and the other one's way up in here. I shot it with penetrating oil, hoping they would break loose. And I'm gonna fight with that a little bit more. If I can't get it to work out like I want to, I'll do something drastic. So yep, that's where I'm at the moment. Got it finally. I think it was gonna break loose. But now that we got that one broke loose and partially backed out, don't take it all the way out. Make sure you get this one and those out first before you pull this one completely out, because then your fender, which is all the weight's gonna want to drop like this. That bolt being up top is gonna help support the fender for you while you get those two bottom bolts out, and then you can, the last bolt you take out is gonna be right there, and you can control the fender a little easier bringing it out. Cool. All right. So I'm gonna get those two bolts out. Okay, got those three bolts out, and that one just hanging there by its imagination. So it's time to take the fender off. Yay, fender gone. I like it. Much better, much better. Of course, gonna need an inner fender, but we'll get that video later on. Much better. The only thing I can't really make up my mind at this point is, I mean, I can keep, whenever I fabricate my new fenders, or build them, I can keep it flat with the hood, not alter the hood at all, which looks cool. I like it, don't get me wrong. But some of the highline fenders that kind of come up and up like this right here and then come back down, I think about doing something along the lines of that. But if I do it, I mean, yeah, I could keep it on the outer skin of the hood, but I'm really thinking I'd come through there and alter cut the hood and bring it back down like that. I mean, no, decisions. I guess I'd have to do some internet surfing, look for some ideas, because I'm really thinking I want to take it up a little higher and actually cut the hood out. So I can find some pictures on the net for some people who's done that. Anyway, let's get the other fender off. Okay, we're on the passenger side fender now. We're going to remove the jack. 7/16 here, 3/8 there. Whenever you remove that 3/8, this hoop right here is going to come off, which will release the wiring harness going over to the engine. And this is your vacuum line going down to your central electrical disconnect. And you'll pull that loose from down here because it goes to a little snap clip that goes into the fender. So 3/8, 7/16, remove the jack. Remove the jack, got all my vacuum lines, and my harness is all pulled back loose from the fender. Now we got to take care of this. So what you can do right here on your fuse block or power distribution center, you pull that tab back right there and push this whole thing that way, it'll slide right out. Well, it helps if you take this off first. Dang it. Now your wiring harness right here, you just take your screwdriver, get in behind this right here, wedge it a little bit, boop, pop that harness loose. And you got another one back here. Do the same thing with it. I had a bit of a brain fart a moment ago. Now, I showed you guys to pull this one across, push it that way. We also got one right here, so really you need to go here, left hand here, right hand here, pull that back, take your thumb right here and push. You know, it should push it on out. Now let's get the battery tray. It's gonna be 1/2 inch here, 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 because there's a brace underneath this that goes back to the firewall. So you need this one out, this one, this one. So here, 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 there, 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 and there. Take them out. Now from here, it's just like on the driver's side. Take those bolts out, and we got this one down here, which I'll probably, I don't know, see, either be there or there. I ain't sure which end I'm gonna try to take that off of. I'm gonna try to take this one off the firewall because it's just easier to get to right there. Then you got your ones under your fender, yeah, just like on the driver's side, going right up through there. Get them out, and right there, and push your wiring harness through. Again, like I said, push it through, don't pull it. That way you got less risk of damaging your wiring on that raw metal edge. Ta-da! Alright, let's get those bolts out. Looky, it done got dark on me out here. And here's why. Look right there, see that bolt right there? All the rest of it came out just fine, no fuss, no issues, nothing, just perfect, except for that one. I ended up ripping the head off of it, you know, the socket. I drove a socket up on it, turned it anyway. It ended up just totally boogering up the hex head. So what I did was took my cutter here, my cutoff, and went like this, and went like this on each side of the head, and create a slot, or like a little key right here. Because, and I'll show you in just a moment, the fenders allow for adjustment because the fenders holes are oval shaped. So by cutting the head like this allowed it to go through that oval shape. So you can see how it's wet right there, both on the inside here, because right there I got my finger on the end of the bolt. On the inside there and in here I shot some penetrating oil on it. Let it sit overnight and I'll come out in the morning and hopefully back that thing out of there. Let me show you the fender. You see, you can see my cutoff wheel marks right there, slot here, slot here. You can see how it's oval shaped. So when I cut that head, one side off, that allowed it to go through that slot right there and not damage the fender, and hopefully give me enough bolt that I can get hold of and turn it out in the morning. Well, when we left off last night, I had to cut the head off that bolt or slice it to where I could get the fender off of it. I shot some homemade penetrating fluid on it. That's hopefully it'll break loose and we can get that bolt out. Let's try to see if it worked. And what you want to do is you don't want to like just start cranking it, because sometimes, especially once you take out that much metal, you'll thin your strength down so much, you'll lessen your strength, you end up twisting the head off of it. So just kind of get you a good solid bite on it. And just kind of bounce your body against it a little bit. Just kind of bump it. It moved. It moved. Oh, come on. Now what you got to hope is, now that we got it going, is that it doesn't get a sticky spot. Now twist that off right there. So far so good. Dang, I scratched the paint. Huh, like it matters. It's not easy, but it's working its way out. Yay, I won. Sweet. Because I really didn't feel like drilling and tapping that thing back out. There's Rust Bucket, running fenderless. Sweet. I've always liked that look better than having the full fenders hanging out. And of course, whenever I go to fabricating my fenders, You're putting the steel tubing around, bringing it down, stuff like that. Of course, I'm gonna put inner fenders in. I'm not a fan of seeing the engine through all that mess, but having the axles out wider than the hood, I've always liked that look. Not to mention, it's very functional when it comes for doing wheeling and stuff like that. So, last night, of course, you know what, cut the video short because of, you know, I had to cut that bolt and all that jazz. And I made a little mention throughout the video about not making up my mind whether I wanted to go high lines, high clearance hood, or do I want to just stay the factory hood here. Looked up a lot of pictures online last night. I loved that look of cutting the hood right along through there, bringing the whole fender line up, blah 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 blah. But here's what I'm going to do. I want to do another video later about the evolution of Rust Bucket and the evolution of Beth, the 91 model, which will better explain what I'm about to tell you. I'm going to go ahead and do a fender delete, absolutely, which means my tubing, it might come out about an inch or so, give me a place for my hood hinges, or I'm going to look for different options for lashing the hood down. I looked at last night the old school hood pins. Those are cool, love them, the old hot rod style. But I keep wanting to do something different. I don't want to do something like you guys. Oh, I've seen this stuff before. I want to do something that says, hey, man, that's just wicked. I really like that look, and you know, I'd like to duplicate that. Something that you can make at home, not too hard to do, but has a very different, unique look. So for my first set of fenders, I'm gonna do me just a fender deletes, but I'm gonna keep my hood stock. Therefore, you guys can duplicate it at home. If the people who are afraid to cut up their hoods or whatever the case may be, you don't have to. Okay. So yeah, I'm definitely just gonna go with a set of a regular fender delete, not flared, fender delete. And if you want to do flares, no, like I said, I'm gonna bring my tubing out by maybe an inch, if that much. I may keep it flush with the hood. I don't know. Depends how froggy I get when I start fabricating. But if you want to go flared, just remember, you know, if I'm stopping my tubing here or I'm going flush, all you have to do is bring your tubing outward like this and bring it in for your flares. I mean, just take my basics and alter it to what you want to do whenever you bring it out like that, or if you bring it out and back in, whatever. I don't care what you do. It's your call. But I'm going to do a fender delete setup and see where I go from there. I'm not taking off my grill. I'm not taking off my body till I at least got my fenders framed in, because the fenders I took off, of course, has got the grill located with the body. Nothing moved. Everything's still stationary. So right now, a grill and everything's in its factory locations, so I can make and frame my fenders in. And once I get them framed in, then I can remove the grill, pick the tub up, take the tub off the frame to do my tummy tuck and all that fun stuff. So that's where I'm at the moment. Cool. And over here, looky here, ha ha ha. There's my fenders. They're straight. They're in perfect shape. A lot of surface rust. And they look like the replacement fenders, to be honest with you, because of that right there, obviously. But yeah, I mean, they're perfect shape, just a lot of surface rust. And there's my jack, my battery tray, camera stand, tripod. Yep. Look at that look. Oh, much. She looks so much meaner. I'm gonna kick some rocks, bud. Yes. So there you go, everyone. How to remove the fenders off of a Jeep Wrangler YJ. And if you learned a little something from that video, hit that thumbs up down below, leave me some cool comments, and don't forget to subscribe. So everyone, I really appreciate you hanging out with me. Peace out. Later, y'all. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share these videos on your Facebook, your Twitter, your Reddit, whatever type of social media you use. But don't forget to share these videos out. Share them to your Facebook, your Twitter, your YouTube, Reddit, whatever type of social media you use. Share them out, because whenever I put all the work in to do the video, the editing, all that fun stuff, and all you got to do is share them out, which spreads the knowledge to everyone. It helps more people. Cool? Share these videos.